So today we will be discussing the cults and the occults around the world and the reasons why they get into the cults or the occults. Because like before we judge them for their strange and a bit weird practices, it's always good to try to see things from their perspective. Because most people who are in the occults or the cults, they don't even know that they're in one. So this is a psych breakdown to help us to be able to understand them. First of all, I want to differentiate an occult with an O and occults with a C. The occult are the ones that practices mostly paganism, basically witchcraft, human sacrifice, all those crystal balls and magical arts, demonic arts. Those are the occult. If you are familiar with Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom, the tribe that sacrificed people and ripped their hearts out, that's a good example of an occult with an O. With the C, basically the religious cults. This is an example of one of the cults in the Philippines. His name is Kibuloy. He declared himself as the appointed son of God. You know, to better explain and to showcase what he is, I have some clips for you.
Revealed to the world, and he said, "My son, you humbled yourself for 33 years. That's why I will give you a name which is above every name." He gave me his name, and he took my name as his new name.
What the hell? Another clip of Kibuloy claiming that he stopped an earthquake. I'll translate it in English for those who don't know how to speak Filipino.
Kung lumindol ng 6.6,
When there was a 6.6 earthquake,
nandun ako kapon.
he was there in his room.
Sabi ko, Lindol, stop. Sabi, stop.
I told the earthquake to stop, then it stopped.
Pangalawa, yung mga 11 siguro.
Around 11 o'clock, there was another earthquake.
Nandyan si...
There was Ingrid
Sino yung kasama ko?
and another person while he was writing. Then it earthquaked again. I told the earthquake to stop. Then it stopped again.
Salamat kayo sa akin.
Thank me everyone because I stopped the earthquake. So basically, you can all see Kibuloy is pretty delusional. He thinks that God gave him his name and he is earthbender that he can stop earthquakes. Kind of strange fellow. Before we continue, I want to show you Maslow's hierarchy of needs because this is very crucial in understanding why people would go into cults. Basically, there's the physiological needs, like the everyday needs like food, water, shelter. That's why cults really appear to the poor people. Because think about their scenario. A place filled with suffering, poverty, then all of a sudden there's this guy that appears that has a lot of money, a lot of luxury. You would believe anything that he says if he promised you that if you join him and follow him, that he'll give you everything that he has. Next would be safety and protection. Basically, you know, just like the typical jocks. That's why they always gather around together. Because they'll be like, you know, if you join us, we'll protect you, we'll keep you safe. It's also that sense of belonging, that you want to belong to something important. Because at the end of the day, humans are relationship based and we always want to be a part of a certain group. The next phase we'll be going into is the manipulation of the self-esteem. If you're familiar with Azula from Avatar, she's a prime example of a brilliant manipulator. How she, you know, buttered up May and Tylee to working for her and serving her. She was also able to do the same to the Tylee. He was able to convince them to turn on their leader. Just like cults do, they like convince people, you know, turn on the government, turn on your church, turn on your family, join us. And together, the Fire Nation shall rule them all. So right now, let's go into some of the abuses of the cults. Normally, they would kidnap people, and after them, they will brainwash them, like using repetitive tactics like, there is no war in Ba Sing Se, even despite the fact that the war has been going on for 100 years, because we all know everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. You can all see the effects of the cult. It's like a puppet master playing with strings. This puppet master controls all his people. But you have to ask, what are the spiritual aspects that make people believe in these things? Because it's kind of confusing, right? If you check in the Bible, it says that Satan, the god of this world, has blinded the minds of the unbelievers so that they cannot see the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ Jesus. Basically, I'm going to show you a real-life example of the cult. If you are familiar with Keith Raniere, he was a founder of the Nexus cult. He would basically entice women to join his group for like wellness, spirituality, but in reality it was a cult where he would sexually abuse them, even branding them on their skins. That guy's really messed up. But you have to ask yourself, what makes these women or people join these cults? Because they don't appear as evil on the outside, but eventually they seduce you with their good looks, with their charm, with their money, and eventually you're trapped. It's a trap. I would recommend you guys listen to Avril Lavigne's song, I Fell in Love with the Devil. She explains her experience when she believed someone just because they look like angels on the outside. But here are the lyrics. I fell in love with the devil, now I'm in trouble. I'm underneath his spell. Please save me from this hell. And she even posted this on her IG page to explain, because some people are judgmental. They think that she made a devil worship song, but she's really telling a story. So we should really take the time to understand what the person is going through. You may pause this video to read it out if you want to. So what if you're trapped in an occult and you don't know what to do? Well, let's ask Avril Lavigne again. She made a song, A Head Above Water. The lyrics of this song really speak out for people who are trapped in places they don't want to be in. I can't see in this stormy weather. I can't seem to keep it all together. I can't swim in this ocean forever, and I can't breathe. So God, keep my head above water. Don't let me drown. It gets harder. I'll meet you there at the altars as I fall down on my knees. Basically, the only way to get out of the occult is ask for help, and the best person who could help you from get out is the Lord. So run to Him, and He'll rescue you. I want to leave in the description the links to Avril Lavigne's songs, I Fell in Love with the Devil, as well as Head Above Water. Hope it helps you guys. See you next episode.